Namaskar. So today we will be discussing the four qualities. Four qualities. Already we have discussed three qualities out of six qualities that I propose to discuss with you. So we have so far discussed what is courage, then followed by generosity, and finally we discussed what is gratitude, gratefulness. Now the fourth qualities, universal human values, only the universal human values, call it values for success, you may call it principle for perfection of personality, whatever way you may call it. So fourth quality is perseverance. Perseverance. But what is perseverance? What is perseverance? If you are asked to explain in a single line, in a single sentence, what is perseverance? Perseverance is actually decision, your decision. Perseverance is the decision. What type of decision? Decision to go to the very end. Perseverance is nothing but your decision to go to the very end. So this is preliminary definition of the perseverance. My decision to go to the end. So there are ranks of perseverance. How we can inculcate perseverance. So suppose you are asked to do a job. If my answer is, I won't do it, we will start from there, I won't do it. Then what we will say, I can't do it. First answer is, I won't do it. Then I will say, I can't do it. Then I will say, yes, I want to do it. I want to do it. Then, how do I do it? How do I do it? Then I will try to do it. This is the process, how perseverance is inculcated or developed in our attitude. So I will try to do it. Then one day I will say, yes, I can do it. I can do it. Then next answer will be, I will do it. I will do it. And the next answer, yes, I did it. Yes, I did it. This is the journey. This is our journey from I won't do it to I did it. I did it. So, let me ask you few questions. Have you ever experienced, suppose on the day when you decide not to get angry, you have decided, yes, today I shall not be angry. I shall not be angry. Everybody around you seems to be acting to make you angry. And all of a sudden, and then you lose it. It is not perseverance. It is not the decision to go to the end. And it happens. You have decided first that I will not be angry today. Then what you experience, the people around you will try to make you angry. And all of a sudden, you lose your temper and you get angry. This is not perseverance. Then another example, when you are about to achieve a success. At the very last step, something happens and it ends up a failure and you give up. This is not perseverance. Perseverance is the decision to go to the end. And these things happen. These things happens in our life, even in the last day. Then you take one step forward, you take one step forward, then you are pushed 2 steps backward. 2 steps backward, and finally you give up. This is not perseverance. This is not perseverance. And when you start working towards the goal you have set for yourself, you find that it is too big or idealistic and settle for less, more practical goal, then it is not perseverance. Because you have said something, but then you are settling for something less. It is not what is called perseverance. So perseverance is the decision to go to the end. And it is a sure quality to become successful, to succeed in life. Then there are 4 steps. What is perseverance? There are 4 steps in the whole process of perseverance. There are 4 steps. First step is the resolution to go till the very end. First thing important is your resolution. Your resolution to go till the very end. Till the very end. First component of perseverance is the resolution. So you might be tempted to give up, but in the process, but in the actual process, you might be tempted. You might be tempted to give up your resolution. Why? Because the path to victory is too long. It will not be possible for me. It's too long. Then it is not perseverance. So you are not developing perseverance. The quality of perseverance. You do few things wrong. It happens. You have done few things wrong, and you end up in despair. Because you have done few things wrong, and you end up in despair. And for that purpose, and for that, you just give up. You give up your whole resolution. Then, after the first few successful steps, a failure happens, and you just give up. Then it is not perseverance. So after the first few steps, you feel that the next on is too difficult for you. When we come to know that next step is very difficult, no, I will not attempt. Then you are lacking perseverance. Then you are lacking perseverance. So what is perseverance? Never give up on your dreams. Never give up. Never give up. You have to go to the very end. So the first step is resolution. First step is resolution. Then what you need? Resolution has to be followed by your will. Resolution alone is not sufficient. Resolution has to be followed by your will. Will of what sort? Having the willpower to overcome all challenges. So resolution has to be followed by will. And how you are to develop your willpower? How you can develop your willpower? By regularly exercising it on far smaller tasks, then bigger and more difficult tasks. For example, from tomorrow onwards for next 10 days, I am going to get up at 5 p.m. How you can develop your willpower? You have just resolved that I will get up at 5 a.m. For next 10 days only for 10 days. Small goal first. For next 10 days, I will get up at 5 a.m. And then for the next 2 months, I will be regular with my exercises. I will be regular with my exercises. Only for 2 months. Or I will attend a cooking class. I will attend a cooking class until I learn how to make 5 dishes at least. Small goal. Then for the next 10 days, I will memorize 1 sloka or paragraph per day. So this is the process, how you can develop your willpower. First small goal, so regularly exercising it on first smaller tasks, then bigger, then more difficult tasks. But you still have to start from the smaller goal. So, what is perseverance? Mother says, again it's a one-liner, definition of one-liner. If you are asked what is perseverance, Mother says, a persevering will surmounts all obstacles, overcomes all obstacles. This is what is called a persevering will. Then third element is endurance. So there are 4 steps. First one is resolution. Resolution has to be followed by your willpower, and resolution and will have to be followed by endurance. Endurance is not tolerance. Endurance is something patient with suffering. Patience with suffering. Patience with suffering is not toleration. So, if one has endurance, one says, how you can define endurance? You can define endurance the capacity to go. Endurance is the capacity. Capacity to go through all without fatigue or depression. Without fatigue or depression, the capacity to go through. You must develop that capacity, and that capacity is called endurance. This is the meaning, substance, significance of the word endurance. It is the capacity to go through all without fatigue. If you get fatigue, then it will not be called endurance. Without fatigue and without depression. So if one has endurance, then what you will say? If suppose you have endurance, then what you will react? How you will react? I shall begin again. I shall begin again as often as necessary. 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 100,000 times if necessary. 100,000 times if necessary. I shall begin again. If necessary, I shall begin again, but I shall go to the end. And nothing will have the power to stop me on the way. Nothing will have the power to stop me on the way. This is what is called the capacity to go through all without fatigue or depression. So this is the substance. So this is the quality number 3 or the component of perseverance. So first one is resolution. Resolution has to be followed by will, and will has to be followed by endurance. And what is the 4th component of perseverance? 4th component is patience. So endurance is not patience. 4th component is patience. What is patience? Patience is again capacity. Patience is a capacity. Capacity for what? Capacity to wait steadily. Capacity to wait steadily for the victory to come. Victory is sure. Victory will come if you have the patience. So, this patience is the capacity. Capacity to wait steadily, not with attention, not with anxiety, but capacity to wait steadily for the victory to come. So you should have the patience. If you are to develop the quality for perseverance, the qualities of perseverance. So these 4 qualities. Number 1, resolution, then followed by will, then followed by endurance, then followed by patience. So again, here is a definition. Mother has given definition of patience. What is patience? To realize anything, one must be patient. It's not definition actually, it's an advice. It's an appeal. To realize anything, one must be patient. But how much? How much? To what extent? To what extent? Mother says, the faster and more important the realization. If your goal is faster, then greater the patience must be. And if your goal is small, then faster patience may not be required. If your goal is faster, if your goal is very important, if your goal is very great, then the greater will be the amount of your patience required. So this is the finally fourth step of perseverance. Resolution, will, then endurance, then patience. Now the fifth quality. I have already asked you to remember two words, Supreme Court. From Court C, we have discussed courage. From paying guest 1B, we have discussed perseverance. From guest, we have discussed 2G. One is generosity and the other one is gratitude. And now, from the Supreme Court's S, what that quality is? It is sincerity. But what is sincerity? It is said that sincerity is the basis of true realization. Without sincerity, you can achieve nothing in your life. Irrespective of your merit does not count. It is the sincerity which matters most. And what sincerity will give you? What is the reward of sincerity? Mother says every act of sincerity, we may not see it, we may not be aware of, but Mother says the every act of sincerity carries in itself its own reward. Every act of sincerity carries in itself its own reward. You just be sure. Every act of sincerity, from smallest to the highest, every act of sincerity carries in itself its own reward. We may not be consciously aware of, but it is definitely there in the very act of sincerity. So then, again you can ask some questions to yourself. Am I being sincere if I did a mistake and to hide it? I did a mistake and to hide what I have done, I told a lie. Am I being sincere then? Not at all. When, on the contrary, if I have done a mistake, what is to be? Mistake have to take place. Because I will say mistake is the pillar of success. Failure is the pillar of success. Mistake, in some cases, mistakes are necessary. So nothing to hide. So why you need to tell a lie? Yes, I have committed a mistake. Mistake is not crime. Yes, I have somehow unwillingly some mistakes may have taken place. So I did a mistake, and to hide it, if I tell a lie, then I will not be called a sincere person. Next example, I was watching a YouTube video in my work or study. But as soon as my boss or parent came, I hid the video. I hid the video from the screen. Am I sincere? Not at all. And it usually happens to our adolescents. Nothing to be shameful. These are things to be corrected. These are not things to be criticized. These are things to be corrected. So that is why mistakes are necessary. Without mistakes, what I will rectify, what I will correct myself. So mistakes are sometimes even necessary. necessary. So I was watching a YouTube video in my work study. As soon as boss or my parent came, I just hit the video from the screen. Am I not being all sincere? Then my difficult boss gave me a terrible Diwali gift that I did not like. I did not like, but still my difficult boss gave me a Diwali gift. I still went and thanked him for the gift. Am I being sincere? Because I am not liking the gift. Still I am thanking him. Perhaps I will be called sincere. So then what is sincere? And what is sincerity? What is sincerity then? Sincerity is acting honestly. Punctuality is only one component of sincerity. Punctuality is not all about sincerity. Punctuality is only one component of sincerity. So, sincerity is acting honestly. But based on what? Honesty, the definition of honesty may vary from individual to individual. So then, what should be the criteria? What should be criteria of my honesty? Because what is sincerity? Sincerity is acting honestly based on our highest values. Everybody we possess certain values and we adore those values. It cannot be similar to values that I adore, but still you believe, all of you believe in certain values. So, what is sincerity? Sincerity is doing or acting honestly as per your highest values, not a value imposed on you by somebody else. It is acting honestly. It is acting honestly based on your highest value, whatever it might be. So this is the definition of honesty. This is the definition of being sincere. It is acting honestly. Honesty not as per my definition. Honesty as per your own highest standard, as per your own highest values. So, just it is a conclusion then, if honesty is acting honestly, then on the other hand, we can then say sincerity is absence of what? Absence of deceit and hypocrisy. So what is sincerity then? If sincerity is acting honestly, then sincerity is also absence of deceit and hypocrisy. If I have done a mistake, I will not hesitate to make it public. Yes, I have done a mistake. And I will rectify it. I will rectify it. Committing a crime and making a mistake are radically two different things. Mistake is not a crime. Mistake is mistake. Rather, mistake is the pillar of success. So, sincerity is acting honestly. So it depends on you. What will be the definition of honesty as per your own highest value, which you are possessing right now? So, if honesty is acting honestly, sincerity, then sincerity is also absence of deceit and hypocrisy, as per your own highest value. So, just for example, I will give some example what is sincerity and what is not sincerity. Just example. But again, sincerity is acting honestly as per your own highest values. Sincerity is absence of deceit and hypocrisy. Just I will give certain examples to facilitate, not to impose on you. So what is sincerity? Truthfulness. Number one. Number two, honesty. Number three, transparency. Transparency. Being honesty is being transparent. Number four, trust. You should be trustworthy. Trust. And then integrity. These are the 5 examples I am giving you. The example of being sincere. First one is truthfulness, honesty, transparency, trust, and integrity. And what is not sincerity? What is not sincerity? Deceiving oneself. If I deceive myself, I am not sincere. Telling a lie to others. Telling a lie to others. Revealing partial truth. It is the most insincerity. Revealing partial truth. Like Yudhishthira at the time of Mahabharata war, when Yudhishthira was telling his Guru Dronacharya, yes, Asasthama Hata Kintu Iti Gaja. Asasthama was the name of an elephant. So Asasthama is Hata, Asasthama is skill, because Asasthama was the name of Dronacharya's son. And Asasthama was supposed to be immortal. And Dronacharya was not believing. When Dronacharya says, if Yudhishthira confesses before me, then I will believe him. Then what Yudhishthira did? The first sentence is correct. Asasthama Hata. It's correct. It is truthfulness. But next portion is very in a lower tone. He says, into iti gaja, but it is an elephant. So it is a prevailing partial truth. It is not the sign of sincerity. So deceiving oneself, telling a lies to others, revealing partial truth, exaggeration. Exaggeration is also not sincerity. Exaggeration, and then hidden motives behind action. Hidden motives. I am seeking a leave from my boss, and I am telling my mother is suffering, so I need 2 days leave, and your boss has granted. But you have different words. You have other words. You have other words. So then it is just hidden motives. In Assamese it is called nestosartha, vested interest. Vested interest. Vested interest, what is hidden motives? Hidden motives is vested interest. So hidden motives behind action is not what is sincerity. So 3 steps how you can develop sincerity. There are 3 steps how you can develop. First one, observe the situation, avoid acting on impulse. Impulse is momentary. Impulse. You are not to act as per your impulse. Impulse means just the reaction of your senses. You are not to be guided by impulse. So first thing is 3 things. So first one is observe the situation. Observe the situation, avoid acting on impulse. This is the first process, first thing. Number 2, step back, stepping back. What is the meaning of stepping back? Just let me explain. Do not get carried away. Do not get carried away. Let your mind be quiet. Let your mind be quiet. Do not let your emotions be hijacked by the situation or people. This is what is called being carried away. So do not justify mentally. Listen to yourself carefully. Listen to yourself, not to others. Listen to your inner voice carefully. Do not justify mentally. What your mind says, do not believe it. What your inner voice tells you. Just carefully observe and try to listen to your inner voice. Always, inner being is telling something to us. We just do not give attention to those inner voice. Always, our inner voice gives us right direction. But we just do not give any attention. We do not pay any attention to our inner voice. Rather, we are carried away by our impulse, by our emotions. So, do not justify mentally. Listen to yourself carefully. And carefully means what? Deep inside your heart. Deep inside your heart, you can easily detect uneasiness. If you are about to take a wrong decision, if you carefully listen to your inner voice, you will feel some uneasiness if it is a wrong decision. If there is no uneasiness, then you can be reasonably sure that it is not a wrong decision. So that is why you should pay attention to your inner voice. Whenever you are about to take a wrong decision, some uneasiness you will be feeling deep inside your heart. So you make a wrong decision or a wrong act. But stepping back has another connotation also. Stepping back. What is that connotation? Suppose right now you are rebuked by somebody. And strongly rebuked. You are strongly rebuked by somebody. Is it necessary to respond immediately? Then it will not be called response. It will be called reaction. Because it will be acting on your impulse. You just step back. Think for a while. Is it necessary to react as soon as I am rebuked? Well, I will take a night. I will take a day. I will think about it. And then tomorrow I will take a decision. Whether it needs to be responded or not, then it will be called response. So there is a difference between response and reaction. Reaction is acting on your impulse. And reaction is automatically takes place. Somebody is rebuking me, I will also react immediately. It is called reaction. It is not called stepping back. When you will step back, think for a while. Think for a while means it may be 5 minutes or it may be 5 days also. And then you have taken a decision. Yes, he should be retaliated. Then it will be called response. Otherwise it will be reaction. Reaction is very dangerous because reaction is nothing but acting on our impulse. And what is I have already said, what is being sincere? What is the meaning of being sincere? Acting honestly, as per your own highest values. So what is the third steps of developing the quality of sincerity? Third step is act from your highest values, always. You must have certain philosophy of your life. You must be having. That may not be similar to that of me, may not be identical to that of me, but still you are possessing certain values of life. So act from your highest values, not from the lower value. Act from your highest value. So these are the three steps. First one is observe the situation, avoid acting on impulse. Observe situation, avoid acting on impulse. Number two is stepping back. Number third is acting from your highest values. Acting from your highest values. And then the last, so sincerity finally means hear your inner voice. Hear your inner voice. Why? Because there is only one true guide in this world. Not even our teacher, external teacher. There is only one true guide in this world. And who is he? That is the inner guide. Our own inner guide. Everybody, we have an inner being in us. That inner being is our real friend, real guide. Always we should try to listen the voices uttered by that inner being. So then the last quality is from paying guest P, first P was perseverance. Last P is progress. Progress. If you are asked by somebody or in an interview, why you are living on this earth? What is the purpose behind? What is the very agenda of your existence in this material world? There is only one answer, and it is progress. I am here on this world for progress. Progress in all respects. Economic progress, social progress, spiritual progress, cultural progress, sociological progress, progress in my study, progress in my physical body. Progress is the only agenda, not the success. Because success is a relative term. Success has no absolute meaning. Why? Suppose there are only three competitors in a competition. The last competitor scored only 10 marks out of 100. Still he will be getting third position. Is it a success? So success is a relative, because suppose I am scoring 20 marks in a competition and others are getting less than 20, then I will be the first. In that situation, I will be called successful. But if I participate in another competition where others are scoring more than 80 marks, I am just scoring 20 marks, then I will be an utter failure. This will be an utter failure for me. So success has no absolute meaning. So what you need to develop, you should have asked for progress. Progress is the real agenda. This is the universal human values, progress. For progress, we are here on this earth. So let us keep claiming in our heart. What we need to keep claiming? The fire of progress. There we must keep claiming in our heart the fire for progress. And that will lead to you success, perfection and all. If the goal of your life becomes progress, becomes goal of your life. Aim in your life, progress, not success. Because success has no absolute meaning. Success has only relative meaning. So Mother says, let us keep claiming in our heart the fire of progress. So then, what is progress? What does it mean? If you observe the evolution of the mankind, evolution of this world, what science has told us? First, what appeared on this physical earth? It is the matter. After matter, what appeared? Plant. Is it not a progress? After plant, what appeared? Animal. Is it not further progression? After animal, man appeared. So, the motive of existence is to move towards progression. So progress is the only agenda. Progress is our only agenda of living in this material world. Progress is the secret agenda of the material world, material nature also. Because we are progressing towards. So who will be after man? The answer is Superman. This is what Maharishi Sri Aurobindo has told us that the evolution is not complete. It is still continuing. Because logically we cannot come to a conclusion that after man, evolution is completed. No, evolution is not completing. Because progress has no limitation. Progress is unlimited. Progress is infinite. Progress cannot be confined in a narrow standard. Progress is unlimited. Progress is infinite. So this is what is called progress. From matter to plant, from plant to animal to man. Man means consciousness, mind. What does man mean? Man means mind. Mind means consciousness. Consciousness is there in plant also, but it is subconscious. Consciousness is also in matter, but it is veiled, but it is concealed. In plant, it is subconscious. In animal, vibration is there. But in man, it is fully developed, but not yet fully perfected. And that is why evolution is not complete. Though consciousness is fully revealed, mental consciousness is not a perfect one. So we are heading towards ultimate perfection. And in Indian spirituality, who is God? Who is God? God is defined as the supreme perfection. God is not a human body, human being, like something like human being. God is the supreme perfection. Just if you could imagine, God is the supreme perfection. We are having partial perfection right now. So we are partial expression of the divine. Because we are having partial perfection. And we need to move towards full supreme perfection. This is our agenda. So progress is the agenda. Progress. Progress in every respect. So entire universe is progressing through evolution. It has to be admitted. So this is our aim in life. Progress is the agenda. Secret agenda. So then there are two types of progress. There are two types of progress. Two ways to make personal progress. What are those two ways? First component is perfecting the existing capacities and talent. Existing capacities. You are all having some capacities. Some capacities. And you are to perfect those capacities. This is the first component of the progress. And what is the second? Developing newer capacities. Developing newer capacities and talent. So first part is perfecting your existing capacities. And second component is developing newer capacities. And it is possible. That is why we are here on this material earth. For developing newer capacities. For perfecting our existing capacities. So, in what are the areas in which we can make progress? You can list yourself. You can list yourself in what areas you want to make progress. So, examples of personal progress. When will we call, yes, we have made some progress. When we will call, when we can demand that yes, I have made some progress. Some examples. Suppose learning a new skill. Learning a new skill, music, dance, painting, etc. Yes, I am progressing. Then I am progressing. Then taking up a new vocation. As for example, teaching. Yes, I am progressing then. Then I am progressing. Or volunteering or social work. Yes, I am then progressing. Reading books and developing one's knowledge. It is also a sign of progress. Then traveling and exploring new concerns and learning. Traveling is also a progress. But there are two types of progress. This is all outer progress. What I have listed now, just now listed out, these are all outer progress.
But there are other component is inner progress. What are the examples of inner progress? Increasing concentration, span and depth. Suppose earlier you could concentrate only for 5 minutes. If you can develop, if you can increase the span, suppose now you can concentrate for 10 minutes. So it is an inner progress. It is an inner progress. And then controlling anger. Earlier, you don't have the capacity to control your anger. Now you can control your anger. It is a sign of your inner progress. The third, developing patience. Earlier you did not have attitude of patience. Now you are developing. You are developing means you are progressing inwardly. You are progressing inwardly. And then overcoming one's fear is also a kind of progress. Overcoming fear is also one kind of progress. So I am summarizing then what is progress. Progress is youth. Not the lesser number of A's is the sign of youth. Progress is youth. Progress is youth and progress is joy. Without progress, you cannot be joyous. Without progress, you cannot remain youth. So progress is turning difficulties into opportunities. What is then progress? Progress is nothing but turning difficulties into opportunities. Not only the overcoming, but you are to turn difficulties into opportunities. Then it will be called, yes, you are really progressed. So progress is youth. So we are always focusing on youth. Why? Why we are always focusing on youth? And why not on old? Everybody, every speaker, we always focus on new generation. We always focus on youth. Why not on old? Are old to be discarded? Why we are focusing on youth? Let me quote Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo's this quote he addressed before students some 100 years ago. He was a revolutionary. He got ICS but did not join. And rather he chose to serve independent king of Baroda, Gaikwad. And eventually he got involved with the Swadeshi movement. He was the vanguard of the Swadeshi movement. When you will search about Sri Aurobindo, right now his sesquicentenary of his birth is celebrated across the world. And even at that point, he resigned from the Baroda post and he not joined in Calcutta. A school was formed. The name, the National School, National College, not school, college, National College. And in that National College, he was made first principal. At that moment, in Baroda, he was drawing more than 1,000 rupees per month as salary. Now he will be working at 150 rupees per month. Even after completing 1 year as the principal of National College, he could not continue because he was tremendously got involved with the secret revolutionary activities, tremendously got involved with the Swadeshi movement. So eventually he had to resign. And on the day of his farewell, he addressed the students. And from that, I am selecting a portion. I am selecting portion from his address, which was addressed to his students. And you should know that national college has now become Jadavpur University. So in a way, the founder principle of Jadavpur University, then it was National College. National College was later on transformed into an university, which is now Jadavpur University. So Sri Aurobindo was the first principal of that university, or you may call National College then it was National College. So what he addressed on his farewell, he says, the future belongs to the young. Future belongs to the young. Why future belongs to the young? It is a young and new world. It is a young and new world which is now under process of development. Now under process of development, and it is the young who must create it, not by the old. It is the young who must create it. Then he says, but you have to remember what he says in the very next sentence. He says, but it is also a world of truth which is developing. It is also a world of truth, courage, justice, lofty aspiration, and straightforward fulfillment which we seek to create. We do not want to create a future which is full of falsehood. We want to create a future which is a world of truth. And then he continues, for the coward, for the self-seeker, for the talker who goes forward at the beginning and afterward leaves his fellow in the large. There is no place in the future of this movement. Those youth have no place in the future of this movement. So why youth is always linked to nation building? Why is always youth is linked to nation building? Why not old? Finally he concludes, a brave, not coward, a brave, frank. Frank means being sincere, frank. A brave, frank, clean-hearted, courageous, and aspiring youth is the only foundation. Not economy, not even the patriotism. Then what is the foundation of nation? He says, a brave, frank, clear-hearted, courageous, and aspiring youth is the only foundation on which the future nation can be built. This is the significance, this is the importance of youth, why we are always focusing on youth. But the question is, who is youth? Who is youth? Who is youth? Mother says, I have known all people of 20. Old people of 20 and young of 70. What does it mean? So at the age of 20, mother says somebody is old. And pointing towards a man of 70 years, mother says he is young. So mother says, I have known old people of 20 and young of 70. What does it mean? Then it must be meaning that youth is not related to age, lesser number of years. Youth is related to something else. Who is that youth? Who is that youth? Then mother says, youth does not depend on the small number of years one has lived. Then on what it depends? But on the capacity to grow and progress. Youth means capacity to grow and progress. If you don't have the capacity to grow and progress, even at the age of 22, you are old. And even at the age of 70, one has the capacity to grow and progress, then he is young. But what is the meaning of capacity to grow? What is the meaning of growing? And what is the meaning of progressing? We have just a little bit explained about progress. But what is the meaning of growing? I have just mentioned capacity to grow and progress. But what is the very meaning of growing? Then mother says, to grow is to increase one's potentialities. There is no other meaning. Growing means increasing your own potentialities. Increasing your own potentialities, one's capacity. So you are to remain young, you are to constantly increase your own potentialities and capacities. This is the secret of eternal youth. And what is the meaning of progress? Here mother says, the progress is to make constantly more perfect. Constantly more perfect. What you are to constantly make perfect? The capacities that you already possess. So there are two agendas before you. You are to increase your potentialities, capacities, and the existing capacities are to be made constantly perfect. This is what is called progress. Progress means constant perfection of the existing capacities. And growing means increasing the potentialities, increasing the capacities. So this is what is called youth. I will not elaborate, just I will discussing two things and conclude. When one does become old, even at the age of 20, one can become old. And even at the age of 90, one can remain eternally youth. So first I will be telling when one grows old and how one grows old and how we can be eternally youth. That will be followed. So first, as soon as you feel you have done what you have to do, now you have nothing to do. I have done many things in my life, now I have nothing to do. That means you are growing old. You are growing old. As soon as you think you know what you ought to know. I am a postgraduate in civil engineering. I have done PhD from IIT Roorkee, so I have now nothing to learn about civil engineering. It means I am growing old. Or as soon as you want to see and enjoy the result of your effort. I have put tremendous effort in my early life. Now it's time for me to enjoy my life. It's not enjoyment. It's growing old. It's about growing old. It's about growing old. So with the feeling you have worked enough in your life, then at once you become old and begin to decline. If you have this inner attitude. So mother says, keep planting in the heart the fire for progress. Then even at the age of 90, you can remain eternally youth. Then who is young? How you can remain eternally young? Mother says, when on the contrary, you are convinced that what you know, you may be a first-class civil engineer. You have done PhD from the Harvard in civil engineering. But if you still have the inner attitude, what attitude? That what I know is nothing compared to all which remains to be known. What I know is nothing in comparison to what remains to be known, because wisdom is infinite, then you can remain eternally young even at the age of 90. Or when you feel there, you have done, it's just the starting point. Not even the accomplishment, it is just the starting point. Whatever you have done yesterday, it is just the starting point. Starting point of what? What remains to be done. What remains to be done, what I have done is only the starting point. Is only the starting point. What remains to be done, then you can remain eternally you, even at the age of 90. Number 3, when you see future like an attractive sun, when this hope is alive in your heart, for me, I have a brighter future. And when you are under depression, when somehow you develop an attitude, for me my future is bleak, for me my future is dark, then you are growing old. But when you have the burning attitude that for me future is an attractive sun, shining with the innumerable possibilities, even at the 90, if you can think, for me, my future is a shining sun with the possibilities of, with the innumerable possibilities yet to be achieved. Yet to be achieved, then you can remain young even at the age of 100. Then you are young, however many are the years you have passed upon earth, young and rich with all the realization of tomorrow. This is the inner attitude. Then, who is young, who is youth? Let me, in three-liner comment and then conclude. So, to be young is to live in the future, not in the past, not in the present. This is young. To be young is to live in the future. To be young is to be always ready to give up. What you must be ready to give up? What you are, in order to become what you can be. What I am ready to give up. For what? For what I could be. This is young. This is youthfulness. To be young is never to accept irreparable. If you think that there are something which are irreparable, then you are not young, then you are not youth, you are old. You must have the conviction that nothing is irreparable, everything can be repaired. Then you are young. So now let me conclude with 3 things like yesterday. And it is the whole secret of success, whole secret of perfection, whole secret of becoming great man. We have a tendency to become first always. We want to be first. And again, becoming first is a relative concept. Becoming first has no absolute meaning. Because in my village, I was first in my class. But in Dibrugarh, with that score, I will be last one. So to become first should not be your ambition. Then what should be your ambition? Your ambition should be, rather ambition should not be your aim. Then what should be your aim? Your aim should be will. And it is not my change, mother says. That transform ambition to become first into what? Into will to do the best possible. Not to become first, but always you have the determination to do the best possible. Not the ambition, but the will, what you need to develop. Not the ambition. Ambition is inferior to will. Ambition needs to be transformed into will. And attitude to become first needs to be transformed into attitude to do the best possible. Whether I become first or second, my will should be to do best possible, constantly making perfect. This is what is called progress. And then replace the desire by what? By yearning. Desire has to be replaced by yearning. Desire for what? Desire for success. Because success has no absolute meaning. To be substituted by what? Success is to be substituted by progress. So, replace desire for success by yearning for progress. And finally, we all want to be famous. And it is very much unprogressive thing. It is destructive, rather, I am telling you. It is egoistic. It is acting on impulse. What should be your will? What should be your yearning? Mother says, replace the eagerness for fame. Replace the eagerness for fame by the aspiration for perfection. When you have perfection, everything else will automatically follow. When you have progress, not to speak of success, everything will follow. When you are doing best possible, everything will follow. So, I'm repeating, ambition to be replaced by will. Ambition to become first, to be replaced by will to do the best possible. Desire for success needs to be replaced by yearning for success. And eagerness for fame to be replaced by aspiration for perfection. But what is the difference between aspiration and will? Aspiration is also will, but higher will, purer will. This is the difference between will and aspiration. Will is will, it's good. But aspiration is higher and purer will. So let me express my infinite gratitude to Duiet for giving me this opportunity to share some ideas with the youngsters. So let me express my gratitude from the innermost part of my being, from the core of my being, and let me conclude here. Thank you to all. If you want to interact, I can interact for a few minutes. If you want to interact. And if you are already tired, then you need to relax now. Then okay, I'm leaving. Thank you.